This is Samsung's third attempt at a folding phone, and honestly, what a difference a year makes. Compared to the original Galaxy Fold, almost everything has been improved, apart from the name. This is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold2 5G. When the original Galaxy Fold went on sale in September 2019, it had a tiny screen on the outside, a huge camera notch on the inside, and a metal finish that was a total fingerprint magnet. This time, the outside screen is a sensible 6.2 inches, the inside bezels are reduced to a sliver, and the back is a pleasant matte finish. Everything is so much more refined this time round that it makes last year's Galaxy Fold seem like it was a prototype, a £1,800 prototype, which is probably why people say it's not always a good idea to be an early adopter. But what are we supposed to use this for? Evidently it combines the convenience of a phone with a screen the size of a tablet. And some apps support Flex Mode, which splits the folding display in two, so you can watch YouTube videos like this, and in the camera you can take photos like this, although yeah, I'm not exactly sure why you'd want to. Although with the external display, you can use the phone as its own stand for video calls, which is quite useful. I think it would be quite nice if you could keep it on your desk sideways to see notifications and calendar events, although the lock screen is vertical only, so it's not really optimized for this, and actually you get that feeling from a lot of apps. Here's Spotify on the external display. Because it's narrow, you get a nice long list of all your favourite songs, but open the big screen and everything is just zoomed in, so you actually see less information. And the same thing happens with BBC News. A long list of stories on the small screen, and it's just zoomed in on the big screen. And some apps, including Instagram, don't fill the screen at all. Samsung acknowledges that it needs more developers to modify their apps to work in this format, and in time it will probably improve. But this disconnect extends to the operating system. You can put your favourite apps and a wallpaper on the home screen, close the phone, and they're gone because they're two independent home screens, which I suppose makes sense, but it's not how I expected it to work. The category of folding phones has definitely put some excitement back into smartphones, but it's difficult to say what will become the most popular format, if any. Companies are still figuring out what works best. Samsung has its Z Flip or Z Flip. Instead of expanding into a tablet, that one is just a regular phone that folds in half. And the new Microsoft Surface Duo has two displays, but the screens themselves don't fold. And Chinese phone maker TCL is working on some completely different ideas, like a screen that rolls into the phone. These are still premium priced devices, and regular phone screens are so big nowadays that I'm not sure exactly who would be desperate to switch to one of these all-in-one foldables, especially when there are trade-offs. This latest effort from Samsung is still pretty chunky, much thicker than this Pixel 4 and iPhone 11, and it still doesn't fold completely flat. There's still a gap, something I expect they would change in a later model. And crucially, unlike other flagship smartphones, this isn't water or even dust resistant, and I think if people are spending £1,800 on a smartphone, they probably don't want it to get broken by dust. Although, if you're rich enough to spend that much on a phone, you can probably just buy a second as a spare.